Hey y'all, it's Megan and Andy. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come spend some time with us today. It is a beautiful January day. The birds are singing. We thought we would go on a little stroll, and we were talking about it, and I said, well, why don't we just take the camera with us? And well, that's what we're gonna do. So if you don't know, me and Andy, we live in Andy's grandpa's old house. Andy pretty much grew up here, and we got what, about 18 acres right here at the house.
That's right.
That you see us do most of the work on. Now, of course, you know, we've got land up the road a ways, about a mile away, I guess. But most of the stuff you see here on the channel, we do here around the house. We grow about 80%, I'd say, of all of our own food, and most of that is grown right here. And that's a lot of what we show on the channel is the gardening and the farming, but the biggest thing I think that we enjoy showing and I enjoy looking back on and editing everything is just we're a firm believer in community and family.
So, you know, you hear talk about you're either kin to everybody or you know everybody that's in the area. Like, that's where we live in North Carolina.
And also, if you don't know what you're doing, somebody does.
That's exactly right. I mean, we live in the kind of place where everybody knows what everybody's doing.
Yep.
Everybody knows everybody, and then if they're not friends, they're family.
Yep,
I mean, that's
right.
the kind of place we live in North Carolina.
Yeah, so out here's one of our main parts of the garden. If you've been around since then, we had some green peas through here, but they had done. The clover is our cover crop. I've got some greens right over there that all but got it looked like I got a few of them left out there.
Yeah, the cold weather we had back in early December really done a number on them, and they just never came back out.
No, they're I don't know, we got some warmer weather. Had it the last couple of days, maybe a couple more days of it. It may think about living again.
Yeah, there's a few in there you might could get something off of. I believe that I thought that might be a turnip, but it ain't.
No.
This is one of our main gardens, which if you go back and look at summertime videos, y'all will see that. We actually just added this section onto it back about a year ago now.
Yeah, I guess
right out a year.
I got that video of us out here putting these posts in the ground. It's snowing, so
yeah, it was snowing the day we were putting them in.
And then
this is the original garden that's been here. I started this garden here.
We were dating.
I thought it was before that.
No, I remember when it was over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I forget how long you've been around, honey.
I've been around a long time. A very long time. But yeah, I remember when you moved it.
So yeah, I started this garden. Well, if that's the case, how long ago's that been?
Almost 20 years.
20 years. So originally it wasn't this big. I'm going to say it was probably about half of this down was the original garden. And we have since added and fenced it in and everything else.
This is our strawberries, our strawberry bed. We planted these last year and they didn't do much. They were brand new. And so I think I'm looking for this year them to really show off. I hope so.
I say they will.
Yeah.
Look at how the warm weather's made the henbit grow to growing. It is awful out here.
Yep. But there's more cover crop out here.
That's all crimson clover.
Our little onions out here, that's what I was walking out here for. I looked down here and got kind of worried about them, but I think they're all
still
right.
there. These are the walking onions.
Yeah. I've enjoyed these, though. I like them. I like them. Look at this. That's parsley. Why is it still alive?
I don't know. I want you to look at how dry the ground is. We need some rain.
I cannot believe. That's this right here.
Don't parsley normally kill out in the winter?
Yeah. Huh.
I guess not this time.
Well, look at that. It looks like it ain't been long come back out.
There's Maggie with her horse.
That youngin' loves that horse. She reminds me of somebody else I used to know.
Ain't that the truth? Reminds me of somebody I used to know too.
But I think something, I don't know. Ever since me and Andy got married, and even before then, we've always gardened and, I don't know, done a little of this and that. And it's just something we really enjoy doing, and it's something we enjoy sharing with people. Been on here now since, what'd you say, 2019?
2019, I think, is when your first like real video came out. You know, there was some messing around and stuff that went on before that, but yeah, I think the real video, and then we got serious about it in what,
2022, I'd say.
Yep. Gardening to me is one of those things that I would do no matter what. You know, like if it come down to it that I couldn't do anything else, like I would make sure that I had a place to garden.
I think people get discouraged a lot with gardening because they see, especially now today's days with social media and stuff, people see these picture perfect gardens and so on and so forth and think that theirs has got to be that way. Y'all, we've been doing this forever and ever, amen, it feels like. And if you look back, our tomato crop last year, it was terrible, just terrible. And, you know, it's just, that comes with the territory. I guess what I'm trying to say is no matter how long you've been doing it, whether it's your first year, your 20th year, your 50th year, there's always something to learn, and you're always going to have a bad year at something.
That's right.
It's never perfect weather for everything.
That's right. Maggie loves this horse.
He gets special treatment in his retirement years. Don't he, Maggie?
Yeah.
So y'all, there's something we worked on over Christmas break. Jacob and Maggie got a new swing set.
Yep.
Every bit of it, well, all of the swing pieces and the hangers and all, that all came off Amazon. That right there was actually a gift to us by a friend. But the 6x6s I used, I had laying around here already for a project that never happened. Well,
Look going there.
they're turned into a swing set now. She loves it.
The youngins is wore it out too, no longer than it's been here.
Oh man, as soon as that, I put some concrete around the poles. As soon as that stuff dried, but we told them to give it 4 or 5 days to cure, and then they could swing on it all they wanted. Well, as soon as that 4th day was here, they was on it, swinging like crazy that evening. Speaking of gardening, this is the bed that we grow carrots in every year, and as you can see, we kind of let it go to the weeds. The frost killed the weeds back, but look at this. We let our carrots reseed this time. Look down in there. We've yet to pull one, but that one right there might possibly be the biggest carrot we ever grew.
You think so?
Look right here, Megan, come here. Look at that, that's big around as a 50-cent piece.
I ain't even looked at them.
Look. Go ahead. Pull that baby up.
Look, they're big ones all the way around right
I know.
I only want to pull the one. Oh,
Holy cow.
where is Jacob?
Oh my goodness.
He says you can't garden in the cold.
Look, y'all. I want to be clear. We didn't plant these. These came back from the seeds that were here from the carrots we had in the spring. We tried to plant a fall crop of carrots.
Yeah, these were the ones that we let it go to seed.
These are the ones that come back from the ones that went to seed.
Hey, Maggie. Where's Jacob? What'd you pull it out in that for?
Because it was loose from where you pulled that big one.
Oh, I gotta go show that to Jacob here in a minute. I'll tote it with us.
I'm going to leave it rest.
Yeah.
They ain't going to hurt nothing.
We have
there.
never, ever, ever in our history of ever growing carrots
grew something like that. Now, the biggest carrot we've ever grew by accident.
That's the way it goes, though.
Yeah.
Things only grow really good if they don't think you're trying to grow them.
That's about right.
That's the way it all is. Look at that. That thing big around as your arm. Yeah, I know. I ain't never seen such in my life. That's what we should do every year.
That's right. Here's something else that we have really slacked on. We have not cleaned up the peppers. And this is the first time in history that we've not cleaned up our garden. And we just ain't really had time to. And when we've had time, we've been focused on other things.
I don't know where time went. It has slipped on by. But hey, I mean, to be honest with you, they're not hurting anything. They're just ugly.
They're ugly.
So.
They look bad. But y'all, speaking of gardening, like gardening is like, you know, everybody's got their their thing. The thing that they're going to do. Gardening is like kind of like my passion. I love to grow things. I don't so much like to eat. I mean, I do like to eat the vegetables, but that's not why I like to garden. I like to put a seed in the ground and watch it grow. And that's the whole reason that I love gardening the way that I do.
Hey, you want to see something?
Holy cow, that looks like a carrot that come from Alabama.
I know.
That's a monster, ain't it?
Yeah.
You gonna eat it? You probably should wash it off with a water hose or something.
No, go take it inside.
Okay.
We'll eat
Jacob
it.
loves raw carrots. I do too.
That's a monster. That's
If you
a
ain't never
whopper.
had a fresh raw carrot, you don't know what you're missing. They don't they're so much sweeter than the grocery store carrots.
So, I don't think we've ever really spoke a whole lot about this old barn here. As she mentioned before, this was my grandpa's place. However, Grandpa didn't really do a lot of farming here. His farm was right down the road. He basically just lived here.
The property line used to be the driveway.
Yeah,
right here. So before, that's when we bought it. That's the way it was, right?
Right, yeah. The corner, this was a very odd shaped place. Everything on this side of this gravel driveway belonged to Grandpa. This belonged to Grandpa. Around that bank and out across the side of that hill there all belonged to Grandpa. But about where I'm standing right here, looking directly that way, and then directly up that roadbed, everything in between here, it come to a sharp point and it belonged to the neighbor. Luckily, right after we bought this place, we were able to buy an acre and a half right here from the neighbor, and then we ended up adding to it from that. I think we ended up buying a total of 8 acres from the neighbor over time.
Yeah.
And what we bought from the neighbor is now what is our pasture.
Pretty much the whole pasture, I guess,
Yep.
is all what we bought.
For the most part.
Yeah.
But it's funny to think, something that's close to our house is where our raised beds right there are belong to the neighbor and did not belong to us. I am so thankful we was able to get that piece of land, because when we were young, when I bought this place, we were both still pretty young.
Pretty broke.
And, well, we broke too. But, we didn't have quite the intentions that we have now. And so without this land, we couldn't have done what we've done. Every bit of this, plumb up to that driveway, was woods, just like what's right down there. And from about where the yellow bushes there are, the little building, all of our backyard, all the way up over this barn was all kudzu.
Yeah,
Every bit of it was kudzu.
You couldn't see this barn from our house.
I wish so bad that we'd have had a YouTube channel back then so we could have documented cleaning all that up. Because people would not recognize this place from what it used to look like.
The goats helped a lot with that too back when we had all them goats.
But that was the reason we ended up getting goats, was for the kudzu.
Yep.
And we still have patches of kudzu that come up in the yard or out in this pasture here. Like, there's kudzu everywhere. But anyways, so this barn that's here was Grandpa's barn. This is where his mule lived. And he might have even had a horse that lived down here. But the original barn was this building here, what you see here, the center of it. Later in life, the shelter, these 2 shelters were added on, and then way on up later in life, the wraparound shelter that goes all the way around the other side was added on. But the old girl ain't in the greatest of shape. However, it still works. It needs some pretty good repairs. Around the base of the walls, it's kind of kicked out because it was on a rock foundation, and manure and everything else got piled up in there. It started rotting in it around the bottom of the foundation. So that's the problem with it now, is the walls. Like, the outside shelters are actually still really good. It's the walls that hold up the main building are where the problem is.
Yeah, it leans a little more and a little more. And if you've been around and watched a lot of our videos, you've never probably paid attention from this, or probably never seen it from this side, but that door right there, that's where our potatoes are.
Yep,
So.
let's walk around to the other side. So I'm not old enough to remember Grandpa ever really doing anything with this barn. When I was a kid, this is where Daddy used to store all of his hay equipment, and that's really all I ever remember being down here in this barn. And when I say you couldn't see it from the house, there was a little bitty lawnmower path mowed right up through here like a tunnel through the kudzu straight to the house, and it was like a walking path. All of it was covered in kudzu. If you were standing right here where I'm at, you'd have no idea there was a house up there. That's how much kudzu was here.
It's definitely, it has changed so much. But yeah, this is the place y'all see me come in a lot of the videos.
Well, this right here shows how much it's moved, and this is my example I tell everybody. When we bought this place, that latch would latch there. And so with a combination of this wall kicking out that way and that one kicking out that way at the bottom, those latches no longer latch, and that's how much this has moved. I mean, it's got a hayloft and everything in it too. I've got it full of junk, but...
Is there still stuff up there besides that right there?
Oh yeah, I've got stuff stowed up in there. You know
it
me,
might be $1 million up there.
Oh, it ain't that.
That you done forgot about.
I wish it was.
But like finding stuff like this, you know?
No telling how long that's been hanging there.
And there's his horse-drawn equipment is still hanging over there where he kept it at.
Then you see these pockets here. The purpose of that was he would slide a board through over to that side, and they could pin an animal up in here and keep it in that little area right there. And that was essentially the gate. You would just slide a board across instead of having a gate.
Then we've got our big, or I say big, but our orchard down here that the Sasquatch always eats all the apples.
I don't think you consider it small. It's probably not big, but it ain't small. We've got some serious pruning again. We'll have to do this here before too long.
Well, you do good at it though. That's one thing about fruit trees. If you do them right, they're a job like what, once a year, I guess.
Yeah, once a year. Yeah. So right out here on this side of the pig lot, we've got what you call Berry Hill. And out here on Berry Hill, we have blackberries, which is this tangled up mess you see right here.
We're gonna work on that.
The blackberries are getting a major workover sometime this winter. I don't know when that's going to be, but yeah, this is changing. We got raspberries, we got muscadines, we've got blueberry bushes all out through here, and there's actually one up there in amongst the blackberries that the blackberries took over. Strawberries, you see the green layer of stuff out there? That's all strawberries. That was the most productive strawberries we've ever grew, ever. Was right there this past spring.
And I'm gonna tell you what, they were delicious too. We sure have been enjoying them, ain't we?
We have, man. We're still eating them.
We still, yeah. I froze a whole lot of them, made a bunch of jelly.
And you know, speaking of that, that's this time of year especially is when you always catch the fruits of your labor, because we've been eating stuff made from blueberries, strawberries, all your canned foods, peaches, apples. You know, we're still eating that out of the homegrown stuff. That, you know, it's nice eating it fresh, but it's really nice when you've got enough to put up and
it's cold outside.
Eat it this time of year.
It's out of season, and you still get to enjoy that freshness. It's like them strawberries I froze, man. They are.
You can't beat them.
Superb.
You can't go to the store and get a fresh strawberry that's as good as these are frozen.
No, I agree.
Yep. But yeah, Berry Hill is going to get somewhat of a makeover. Hopefully, anyways. You know, I got a lot of projects to do. And so I hope I end up finding time to take care of this. But you know what? The thing is if we don't,
it'll still grow fruit.
It's still going to be there. It ain't going nowhere. And I keep telling myself that. Because, believe it or not, we get comment on occasion saying that we have too much stuff to do. And we overwhelm ourselves, and there's just no reason that any person should do as much work as what we do. First off, we enjoy it. Like, oh, yeah. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. Honestly, I couldn't.
I love it. I mean, it is hard work, but...
I couldn't imagine doing anything else with my time. Like, if I were sitting still somewhere doing something, I would go absolutely crazy. But second off, you know, yes, we do have all this stuff going on. And, you know, when it gets go time in the springtime, you know, with your gardens and with the corn we plant and all that, I mean, yes, there are things that you have to take care of if you want to get results. But just like Berry Hill out there, if I don't, you know, if we don't make it that far, it's all right. It ain't the end of the world.
Ain't gonna hurt a thing, and it'll still produce.
That's right. Boxing in that new hay barn down there. If it don't get done, it ain't really hurting us. It's just, you know, the land that we just purchased up here. Well, I say just purchased, that's been, what, 6 months ago now? A lot of people keep asking, well, when are we going to get to work on it? And honestly, I want to work on it just as bad as y'all want to watch us work on it, like, for real. But the truth of the matter is if we don't, well, we're not losing anything.
And it's been growed up like that, like, ever since I've been here, so.
Yeah, it's always been growed up, and we have made progress on it, but we're not done. That's something to keep in mind, I think, for a lot of people, because you hear people all the time saying they get overwhelmed when they're doing something like this. I've never once felt even remotely close to being overwhelmed here working on the farm. I have at work, but not here on the farm. But I think it's just true because we truly enjoy it, you know. Like, this is what we'd want to be doing. And no matter how much stuff we got going on, like, it's still all stuff that we want to do.
Well,
and I think that makes a difference.
Yeah, and if gardening and being outside, I mean, that ain't for everybody. And
It's
if that
not.
ain't your thing, then yeah, it'll be miserable and it'll be work. And, you know, but to us,
It's just what you do. It's
Yeah.
what we enjoy.
yeah. And it's what we've always done. Me and Andy both came from two families with a very, how would you describe it? A high work ethic.
We came from two families that were, let me see. So both of our daddies have a lot in had a lot in common.
Yeah.
Because they're both very hardworking people, very prideful people, and very, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but they just get stuff done.
Yeah, just get it done.
And I guess that's how we were raised up, was around somebody who was working all the time, and I guess it rubbed off on
Yeah.
us.
We got that gene too. But
Yep.
I mean, I ain't a sit down and watch TV kind of person though.
No, she gets mad at me if I sit down at nighttime and watch TV. What are you doing in there? I ain't getting nothing done sitting in there watching TV. Don't
I do.
you? See?
I'm not gonna lie about it.
As many of y'all know, there has been a time in our past where we tried to sell a lot of products off the farm, and at one time we had close to 75 chickens. And now we've downgraded to what, 7?
Yeah, I think there's 7.
And guess what?
7 and a rooster.
Everybody that follows along knows that we haven't got eggs in quite some time. We still haven't got eggs.
No, I think they're like, they said, we're done. And before anybody suggests it, I know putting a light in their coop may help, may not, who knows. I feel like they lay eggs when they're supposed to lay eggs. If God wants them to have a break, that's the way God made them, then, you know.
Well, and
I
they're
don't
old.
know. Yeah, they're like, this is like their 3rd year, I think.
And chickens usually max out around that time.
Like,
And so-
especially this, like, once it starts warming up, they'll probably start laying again, but yeah.
And the thing is, we're well aware of that. We know that.
Well, they don't
and-
eat enough to hurt anything.
Yeah, we had a few people say, well, why is them chickens still hanging around if they're not laying any eggs? Well, like she said, they ain't hurting anything.
I mean, I might have to buy 50 pounds of chicken feed. Oh my gosh, what, every 8 weeks or something?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe, because right now with the scraps we have, where we don't have any pigs at the moment,
Yeah, they get a lot of scraps. They hardly eat anything.
and they hardly eat any scraps
So
either.
right now their job is, even though, no, they're not laying eggs, they're making compost. The way we use this deep bedding method, they're making compost. They're my scrap bin for my food. And you know what? I just enjoy looking at them.
Yep. Now, once we get new chickens to take their place, these will be gone.
Yeah, usually a lot of times what I do, I just usually give them away, y'all. I will, talk to neighbors or whoever, and I let them know how old they are. It's what I've done with all my old chickens, and I just usually give them away to people if they want them. So some people are happy to have them, whether they're going to lay in the wintertime or not, especially
and
giving
they
them away.
will go back to laying.
Yeah.
And
it's
that's the reason we haven't got rid of them yet, because
they ain't
this
hurting
is the
nothing.
only chickens we have, and eventually they will go back to laying. It just might take them a while.
And guess what? The neighbors got plenty of eggs.
That's right.
So.
So there we go with that community thing again. We live in a tight-knit community, and we know a lot of the neighbors, and there's more than one around here that has chickens. For anybody that don't know, though, this is what we call the wintertime chicken coop. And in the summertime, spring, summer, and fall, we use the little chicken, what do you call it? What would you call that? Little mobile chicken coop?
Little, I guess, little chicken house.
And we put up netting and run the chickens out around in the pasture. But in the wintertime, just to make things easier on us, and since there's no grass growing, they stay up in that winter coop, and we keep a good layer of wood chips.
Boy, I'm gonna tell you what though, they'd have a good time out there right now.
Yeah, look at all them cow pies laying out there.
I feel like talking about those when we used to have all them chickens, you know, that's part of our story. There at one time, me and Andy knew, you know, we were working full time and then some, and we knew that we wanted to farm or live on the farm like I used to do.
We wanted to live off of the farm.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to do. And you know, we tried to make a go at it. There was at one time we growed acres of produce. The kids were babies, and it like to got us both.
And I'm not going to say that we couldn't financially do it, because we had a good thing going. The thing was working full time and doing that on the side, something had to give.
Something. Yeah,
I mean,
it was rough there for a few years, and we did that. We did the produce, we did the chickens, and we did the eggs. And you know, we had to make a decision on what we were going to do, because it was killing us, and there really wasn't any help. Like, it was just us. And
at that point, the kids were still too young really to do much.
And that's when we really started getting serious about YouTube too. We were like, well, maybe, you know, we can make a go with YouTube videos. And at that time, I was already putting out like some videos, but that's when we really started getting really serious, I'd say, and wanted to show people or teach people, if they want to live this way, that it ain't got to be perfect. I think that's my thing with everything. The thing is, I ain't a perfect person. Andy ain't a perfect person. This ain't a perfect homestead. Something I like to say is, you remember back when the homestead become a thing, and me and you looked at each other at night and we said, I guess we're homesteaders. You remember that?
Yeah. I didn't even know what a homesteader was. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I really didn't.
But, yeah, I forgot what I was saying now. It left me. Well, that and just
Is it gone?
It went away.
I know where you were going with that. We were like thinking, well, if these guys are showing, you know, what they're doing, why don't we start filming what we're doing?
And just, we want to show real life. We want to show what it's really like. And a lot of times, I mean, that's why we do the channel the way we do it. I show, you know, we show what Andy's doing, show what I'm doing, because it's not just cooking. It's not just gardening. It's not just working on the tractor. It's not, you know.
And none of it is staged either. None of it is planned out for YouTube.
Look around and probably tell that.
Yeah. Like, everything we ever decide to put on camera is legit something that we're doing. We didn't go out and say, okay, well, we're going to do this today so we can make a video. Like, that's not how we do things.
We know what's got to be done, and, well, we just happen to tow the camera.
But, you know, as we grow our channel, it's more or less, in some ways, like growing a business. Yeah, I've been in business for myself for 20 years now as a lawn care guy. And it's almost exactly like growing that lawn care business. As, you know, we started off little bitty with no subscribers. We'd put out a video and it'd get like 1 or 2 views. Well, you know what? My lawn care business started out the same way. I would leave the house that morning and only have 1 or 2 yards to mow. But before you knew it, things grew.
Well, it all depends. I think it's just like anything, like your lawn care, like any business. It's all in what you're going to put into it.
That's right. And, you know, as you make money with that business, just like with the lawn care business, I started out with hardly nothing to work with. And as I grew the business, I made money and I invested it back to the business. And as we grow this YouTube channel, we've made money and we invested back into the YouTube channel.
And it's no secret. And I don't want it to ever be a secret, because I want to encourage anybody that wants to try to go out there and live off the farm and do it by unconventional ways, such as through a YouTube channel. That's, man, it's really blessed us. It has.
It has.
It was a lot of hard work. Now, don't get me wrong. Hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of unpaid work. and hours and hours and hours.
And I got to give credit where credit is due. You know, Megan has put in countless hours behind the scenes that none of y'all will ever see. I mean, honestly, before we ever started a YouTube channel, I had no idea that much time and that much work went into a YouTube channel.
No, Rat Patrol's
Look
on
right there.
duty. You think he's on duty?
He's on duty. Get him, boy.
He's been eating something good.
And like I was mentioning, the channel grows. And honestly, in the back of our heads, there was just this little thought. Like, wouldn't it be nice if one day we really could make a living off of the YouTube channel and stay here at home and do the work we enjoy?
We used to laugh about it, though.
But we used to laugh about it.
Yeah.
It was like more of a jokingly thing than anything. It wasn't really, honestly, we never thought that would ever come true. What's a hole there?
Well, and that's not the reason we started it, period.
And it's not. That's not the reason we started it. We started it to just share what we had going on and maybe help out some other people who were doing it as well. Since then, we have found we have a totally different audience than what we ever thought we'd have. While we do have the people who want to do this and live like this and everything else, and, you know, we have that audience, but we have an audience that watches, at least what we gather from emails and comments. We have an audience that that watches us just for the simple fact that they say they get away from the craziness of the everyday world. And I never would have thought somebody would want to watch us for that reason. But we get that comment more than any comment in the world. We get that one that says, y'all are such a breath of fresh air for us to sit down and watch after all the craziness that goes on in the world. And that kind of enlightened a new way of thinking about what we do on our channel and stuff. You know, it makes you think differently. Well, you know, of course people are watching to learn and do stuff like that, but, you know, just showing clean, simple country living is the main reason I think people watch us. And that's not something you get on regular TV. These days and age, it's not even hardly something you get on YouTube anymore. But, you know, I find that very humbling that someone would just use us for their entertainment. Whether you're laughing at us or you're fussing about what we're doing or whatever, the simple fact that somebody's watching us for entertainment purposes is very, well, it's an odd feeling. I'm not going to lie. The fact that that somebody can turn us on TV or their phones or whatever it is they watch us on, and it brightens their day, that means everything to us.
Yes.
That's more fulfilling than I ever got off of completing a landscaping job or looking back at a yard being mowed or anything like that. Like, that's way more fulfilling feeling than I ever got out of any of that. And I was pretty proud of my work too. So, you know, that's saying something. But it's a blessing in disguise, honestly, because it's just like I said in the last video, you don't know where next year's going to take you. And I never thought we'd be standing here today having this conversation, talking about how YouTube has done what it's done for us, but it has. We never guessed it. We dreamed it. We had that little small dream that maybe one day it would, but we never thought it would ever come true.
The sheer fulfillment that you feel from saying, there are people that email and say, you know, I was sick for weeks and you helped me get through that sickness. And, you know, that kind of stuff right there. I became a nurse because I like to help people. Mm-hmm. And I realized that this is my path of helping people.
And you can help a lot more people this way than you can in the nursing field.
That's right. That's right.
And doing it this way, you've got a little bit more control over how you help people versus
being told how to do it.
Versus being told how to do it.
That's right. I make my own rules.
But with all that being said, I think right now would be the best time of any to say that starting right now, Megan is going to be a full-time YouTuber.
I know.
Is that not the craziest thing
crazy.
you've ever heard?
That is crazy. What do you do for a living? I'm a YouTuber.
Make YouTube videos.
You get some funny looks. I'm just
It's
going to tell
hard
you.
to describe to somebody when you tell them you make YouTube videos and they're like, how do you get paid for making YouTube videos? And we get so much out of every single ad you see come across a video.
But,
Now, we have no control over those ads, so
Yeah.
whatever ad pops up on there is out of our hands. But we get paid so much out of every ad that comes through.
and so, in turn, every view we get, there's a little revenue that adds up. That's how that
And so
works.
we finally kind of reached a point where we felt comfortable making that jump. Now, for me, on the other hand, this is almost hard to say. It's a little bit emotional because I've done it for 20 years. I have mowed grass for 20 years of my life. For the most part, you can just about consider me a full-time YouTuber as well. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you what,
It's terrifying. For
It is-
anybody that wants to know.
it's very scary.
It is terrifying.
Y'all got to understand that I am very, very passionate about the business that I built with the lawn care. And it was just something I couldn't let go of. But we reached this point to where,
Well, we
once
felt
again, like we were talking about earlier, something had to give.
and we felt like life was kind of leading us in a different direction.
That's right. You know, something had to change because the YouTube business, if you want to call it that, is growing. And I hope it continues to grow. However, if it stays right where it's at, we are completely happy.
Yep.
But I hope it continues to grow. But believe it or not, this YouTube business demands a lot of time. And it wasn't fair for Megan to be putting in every bit of extra energy she had to continue doing this while I was out working and I wasn't able to be here and help her do it. We reached a point financially where we were comfortable to do that.
That's
And so-
always important, guys. Make sure the financial part is covered before you make rash decisions. I don't feel like it was a rash decision. We've been thinking about this for a year, so.
Yeah, we have thought about it for a year. And
But coming from somebody that's very, what's the word? What would you describe me and my finances?
you're tight. You don't like to spend money.
Well, I'm smart with stuff too, though.
She is a very smart financial person.
So get all your ducks in the right places before you decide to make a jump like that.
Backstory, right around the time of COVID, I know a lot of things changed. And at that point in my life, I was wide open with the lawn care and landscaping business. I mean, we were mowing close to 100 yards a week, and we're not talking about little bitty cookie cutter yards. We're talking about big yards, several acre yards. Something about my mentality changed at that point. And I was like, I really would like to be able to spend more time at home with my kids. And it happened with her too. We both just knew that we wanted to be home more.
Mm-hmm.
But we had to figure out a way to make that work.
Want to have a seat?
Yeah.
Still toting these carrots.
But we knew that that was going to be a big time goal for us, was to figure out a way to make a living from home. And at that point in our lives, we didn't know what it was going to be yet. That's why we were doing all the farming and stuff.
Yep.
And that's why we were selling all the produce and the meat chickens and the eggs and all that. That was an attempt to make a living from home. And like I said, I'm not going to say that attempt was a failure,
No.
but we learned a lot.
It made us who we are today.
And the other thing
I learned
is,
that I don't ever want 75 chickens again.
well, the other big thing of that decision was our finances weren't in the shape they should have been for us to stay home at that time.
No. And we didn't.
And we didn't. So we
We
chose.
just,
We had to stick with what was paying the bills, and her nursing and my lawn care was paying the bills, and so that's what we run with at that
and
point.
at that point, you remember, we started working, buckling down really hard, paying off debt, and getting financially to where I could come home for not full time. I wasn't full time at home with the kids, but I was working 3 jobs. Not all full time jobs, but 3 different jobs. So I could make my own schedule and I wasn't tied to one place. And paid off debt. I took the cell phone down to the cheapest cell phone bill I could get. I canceled anything that cost any money that had anything to do with the TV. Anywhere I could cut money, we cut it. And that was another thing that pushed us to growing as much as we grew as far as in the garden. That was one big push. Like I told Andy, I said, if I can get our grocery bill down to this, I don't even remember what it was now, down to this every month, I said, I think we can make it work. And we did. Yep. We did those things, and we made sacrifices. Like, I feel like sometimes people look at us now thinking we don't know what it's like, but let me tell you something. We do, don't we?
There was some, I don't know if you could ever say we had tough times financially, but there were some tough times working wise.
It got a little tight sometimes.
Well, it got tight, but we was always able to put food on the table.
Oh, yeah.
You know, look at this.
I see her.
Look at her. You know, we was always able to put food on the table, and that's the main thing. And we were able to still have Christmas presents under the tree for the kids. And
that's one thing that they never felt it.
Yeah, they would have never known how tight things were. They never had no idea. But like we said, that was our main thing, was figuring out how to get the finances to the point that we didn't have to have quite as much income coming off from anywhere else. And well, we did it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's took us now.
Well, it's just like these
4
videos.
years, 5 years.
It's just like these videos, y'all. Even though we decided we were going to make a go at YouTube, we couldn't put a lot of money into it. So we used our cell phones. That's still, you're watching this being recorded on an iPhone.
Yep.
And our biggest investment, I guess, in YouTube, even now to this day, are these microphones.
Yeah, the microphones we're wearing right now.
Yeah, is the microphones. And we finally, a couple years ago, after talking to Greg and Sheila down at Hoss Tools, we decided to bite the bullet and get us some microphones.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think, I see a lot of people that have a lot of goals. And I want to see everybody that has any kind of goal in life, I want to see them accomplish
That's
it.
right, no matter what it is.
And I feel accomplished at this point because we figured out how to do what it is we've been aiming to do for the past 5 years. We finally figured it out. And we got it to a point we was comfortable to do it. But that's the part I want to stress, is it's been 5 years. We've had the same goal for this long, and it's just now got to the point where we feel comfortable making the jump.
Yep.
I feel like that's the way a lot of people fail, is they move too quickly.
Yeah.
And they're not quite ready for that leap yet.
Yeah. And you're so ready to do it, to get there, you know. All things that are, what is it? Oh, I was going to be nostalgic and say some kind of saying. I can't remember what it was now.
You know, I wish that everybody could wake up and enjoy what's getting ready to happen that day.
And
don't mean you got to stay at home. I'm not saying that, because making YouTube videos ain't for everybody.
No.
Trust me, I know that. But I think everybody should have the goal to get up and do something they enjoy every day. You know, if their job should be something you enjoy.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed what I've done for the past 20 years. But I'm extremely excited about what the next 20 hold.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
It's very scary, but I think that's the exciting part about it, is because right now we don't know.
No.
Who knows? YouTube may completely go away tomorrow, and that's out of our control.
And, I mean, we're working on setting that up, you know, with that in the back of our mind, you know, working on stuff for the future, that is, if it ever did go away, that there would still be work for us to do.
And I'm still going to do, I've got customers that I do random jobs for. I'm still going to do all that for those people.
And I'm still going to keep my nursing license.
Yeah, so we've got that to fall back on if we had to.
Oh, yeah.
But the main thing is we made sure financially that if YouTube did go away to nothing,
we would have
tomorrow,
time to,
we've got options.
Yeah, and we would have time to find another job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks for listening to Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey.
I
listen to him some.
The Ramsey Show.
Yeah. with all that being said, like I said in the last video, just know that none of this would be possible without y'all guys watching.
That's right.
And, you know, we've got more exciting things to coming up this year that we're very excited about. Some are little things, some are big things. But you'll see when we get that point. But anyways, thank y'all very much for allowing us to be able to make this jump in our life.
And helping us meet our goal and helping us be here with the kids. You know, they're only little once, and you've now helped us by just watching our videos, helped us be able to be with them while they're growing up, you know. So.
Yep. And I feel like that's an important thing for the kids too.
Yeah.
I mean, when Jacob was a little kid, I wasn't able to be here because both of us were working all the time, and I feel like there's a lot of his life I missed when he was really young.
When he was little, me too. Yeah.
So it's a blessing.
It is
for sure to be able to do this.
It sure is. And you know, y'all keep on watching. We'll keep on videoing and keep on living, I guess. Thank you for listening to us ramble a little bit. Till we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one. Oh, better go put these in the refrigerator.
Let me see that carrot.
I'm gonna whop you.
I wonder if it's any
count.
count. Cause that part right there looks a little strange.
It ain't. It don't feel like it's like woody. Look, that's what it'd be good for.
Yeah, I hear you. I seen on a video today that celebrating Appalachia that Tipper had Matt tied up and was making him be on camera. Now that's how I feel. I'm going to be made to be on camera at this point.
That's right. You don't get a day off now.
Y'all have a good one.